I think I said between 12:30 and 1 a.m. I just kind of left. I said, see you later, turn around, left. Because it was a long day and I just wanted to go home.
Except you didn't go home, did you?
No, I went back to Canton PD.
It shows that you entered Canton PD for the first time on the 29th at 1:27 a.m. Does that sound about right? When you got there, you say to move your cars.
It's possible.
Why did you go to Canton Police Department that night?
To move 2 vehicles.
How long did it take you to get home from Canton PD?
I don't know. I mean, it could have been 15 minutes, it could have been 20 minutes.
And those phone records established that you and Brian Albert actually exchanged not one, but 2 phone calls at 2:22 a.m. that morning, at a time when you claimed you were in bed asleep, correct?
I have no recollection of any phone calls.
And that was 5 minutes before 2:27 a.m. when there was a Google search for how long to die in a cold, correct? First call you received after returning home on the 29th was a call from Chief Berkowitz just before 7 a.m., which woke you up. Is that right?
It was around 6:30-ish, I think.
Okay. Who's the first person you spoke to on the phone that morning when you woke up?
Brian Albert.
What time do you believe you got to Brian Albert's house that morning after you received the phone calls and woke up? What time did you make your way back over to Brian Albert's house?
Maybe around 7:15 in that area.
Whose idea was it for you to drive to Brian Albert's house that morning
It was my idea.
at 7:22 a.m., if you recall?
I think I might have called Chief Berkowitz back.
When you entered the house that morning, Brian Albert was there, Nicole Albert, Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert Jr., and Julie Albert were all there. I'm sorry, had Julie Albert gotten there yet?
She came after me.
Okay. Mr. Higgins, what time did you leave Brian Albert's house?
It would have been, I believe, when Sergeant Lank arrived, and I think Lieutenant Gallagher might have been with him.
Did you see Mr. Higgins at any point in time during the time that you were at Fairview Road that morning?
Yes.
And when about was that?
That would have been shortly after 9 a.m.
Directly to Canton PD from 34 Fairview yet again, didn't you?
Who could sleep after somebody just was discovered like that?
You didn't just stop at Canton PD. You spent the entire day at Canton PD on the 29th, didn't you?
I don't know that I spent the entire day there, no.
Well, so if the records indicate that you were there from 9 a.m.-ish, after 5.
I don't know how the records would indicate that.
9:23:39, that shows that you were granted access to the Sallyport to front exit, front entry to Sallyport, correct?
Yes.
If we moved from 11:40 to 11:44, 11:45, 11:47, 11:51, 11:52, and then jump to 2:05, would that be an explanation where you might have gone out for lunch, 11:52?
Could have.
Okay, come back. If
Yes.
there's a 2:05 and 56 entry, then obviously you're there, right?
If the card was swiped, I was there.
At 3:10 p.m., you called Brian Albert's brother, Kevin Albert, correct?
I don't know.
Do you remember that it was a 12-minute phone call?
No, I don't remember having any phone call, but I'm sure it's possible that we spoke.
Do you recall that 2 minutes after you cleared the call with Kevin Albert, you then called Brian Albert?
It's possible.
Brian Albert then calls you at 3:24, correct?
Yes.
And you two speak for 6 minutes, is that right?
6 minutes, 5 seconds, yes.
I want to take you back for a second to a couple of other entries, including one at 3:57, one at 3:58, and one at 4:07. Brian Higgins booking to Sallyport, correct?
I see it. Access granted, Brian Higgins. Booking to Sallyport, Sallyport to booking. 4:07:47?
Correct.
I have it. Access granted, Brian Higgins. Booking to Sallyport, booking to Sallyport.
And there's no record in that document of you exiting, correct? That's just booking to Sallyport.
Yes.
Where that's about 90 minutes before Karen Reed's SUV was delivered to that Sally Port, correct?
No, I'm not aware of that.
The last time you're logged into the Sally Port, it's 4:07. Do you remember seeing Chief Berkowitz in the Sally Port at 4:14?
Not that I recall, no.
Was he there at 4:30?
I don't remember ever seeing him in the Sally Port, no.
Was he there at 4:33?
I don't remember ever seeing Chief Berkowitz in the Sally Port.
At 4:50. Finally, was he there at 5:36 and 37 seconds at the same time Karen Reed's vehicle was delivered?
I don't remember.
Are you sure?
Were you in the Sally Port at 5:36 when the car was delivered?
I don't have any recollection of that, no.
You didn't leave Canton PD until close to 6 p.m., isn't that right?
I don't know what time I left.
Could it have been 5:50, 6 o'clock?
I don't recall what time I left.
One thing to say I don't remember, it's another thing to say no, I was not there.
I don't remember being there, no.
Is it possible that you could have been there when that car was delivered?
I don't believe I was, no.
You don't believe you were?
I don't believe I was, no.
You're aware that the video surveillance feed from the Sally Port garage at or around 5:36, the precise time when the car was delivered, it's just missing, right?